Hello, and welcome to Super English Talks. I'm really happy that you're here with me today. Before we begin, just take a small moment for yourself. Wherever you are right now, maybe you're walking outside, maybe you're enjoying your morning coffee, or maybe you're just relaxing at home. This is your time. A few quiet minutes in your busy day to listen, to learn, and to think about something that could truly change the way you see yourself and your life. Today we're going to explore something powerful, something that usually works quietly in the background of your mind, often without you even noticing it. I'm talking about your subconscious mind. You've probably heard this term before. People mention it in books, in psychology, and even in everyday conversations. But what exactly does it mean? And why should you care about it, especially as someone who is learning English and also trying to grow as a person? Here's the truth. Your subconscious mind is like a silent partner that never stops working. Imagine an iceberg floating in the ocean. The small part you can see above the water, that's your conscious mind. It's the part of your thinking you notice every day. I need to finish this task. What should I eat for lunch? I must remember to call my friend. But beneath the surface, much larger and much more powerful, is the hidden part of the iceberg. That's your subconscious mind. It's always working, always influencing you. It controls your habits, your automatic reactions, your fears, and even many of your decisions, without asking your permission. Now, let me ask you something important. Have you ever noticed that your thoughts, even the quiet ones, shape the way your life unfolds? Maybe once you thought something was too difficult, so you didn't even try. Or maybe at another time, you told yourself, I can handle this. And suddenly you felt stronger, more capable, more confident. That wasn't just luck. That was your subconscious mind responding to the messages you gave it. Think about this. Every time you say to yourself, I'm not good at this, or I always fail, your subconscious mind listens. It doesn't argue. It doesn't check if it's true. It simply accepts those words as facts and starts to act as if they are real. But when you tell yourself, I can learn, I will improve, or I will find a way, your subconscious begins to support you. It helps you notice opportunities you didn't see before. It gives you the energy to keep going. It makes you believe in yourself. This is why understanding and guiding your subconscious mind matters so much. It's not just about being positive in a simple way. It's about realizing that the thoughts you repeat, even silently, have the power to shape your habits, your confidence, and ultimately your future. So, as you listen to today's episode, I want you to stay curious. Ask yourself, what beliefs are quietly guiding my life right now? Are they helping me move forward, or are they holding me back? What exactly is the subconscious mind? Let's pause for a moment and break it down. Your mind has two main parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the part you're aware of right now. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm listening to this podcast, or I need to send that email later. It's logical. It analyzes. It plans. It makes decisions in the present moment. The subconscious mind, however, works quietly in the background. You don't really notice it, but it is always active. Think of it like the software on your phone or your computer. You don't see it working, but it controls everything. Without it, nothing would run smoothly. Your subconscious is where your habits live. It's where your memories are stored. It's where your automatic reactions like fear, excitement, or confidence come from. And because it's always listening to your thoughts, it often decides how you feel and what you do, even before you realize it. This is why learning how to guide your subconscious mind can change your life. If you feed it doubts, fears, and negative thoughts, it will act on those. But if you feed it hope, courage, and belief in yourself, it will work in your favor, helping you grow, learn, and succeed. Think of your subconscious mind like the software inside a phone or computer. If the software isn't running, the screen might look fine, but the apps wouldn't open, and nothing would really work. The subconscious is like that. It manages almost everything in the background so that life can function smoothly. For example, your subconscious takes care of your body automatically. It keeps your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and your muscles moving without you having to give any commands. You don't wake up in the morning and say, "Heart, please beat 70 times per minute today." You don't remind yourself to breathe every few seconds. These things just happen. That's the silent power of the subconscious mind. But it's not only about physical functions. The subconscious also holds your habits, emotions, memories, and automatic reactions. Think about learning to drive a car or ride a bike. In the beginning, it took so much effort. You had to concentrate on every tiny detail, press the pedal, check the mirror, turn the wheel, balance the bike. It felt exhausting. But after enough practice, those movements became automatic. Now you don't have to think about each step. Your subconscious takes over, and you just drive or ride without effort. Here's another example. Imagine you hear a song that you loved many years ago. Suddenly, emotions come rushing back. Maybe you remember a special moment, a place, or a person. You didn't tell yourself to feel this way. Your subconscious mind made the connection and sent that memory and emotion straight to your conscious awareness. This shows us something important. The subconscious doesn't stop to question what it receives. It doesn't ask, "Is this thought true? Is this belief helpful?" It simply accepts the messages you give it and works with them. For instance, if you keep saying to yourself, "I'm terrible at learning languages," your subconscious will accept that as fact. It will then create feelings of nervousness, block your progress, and maybe even push you to avoid practicing. But if you feed it a different message, like, "I can improve if I keep trying," the subconscious will also accept that. Then it will support you, making you feel more confident, giving you energy, and encouraging you to take action. Many psychologists and thinkers, including Dr. Joseph Murphy, describe the subconscious mind as a fertile garden. Whatever you plant there, whether good or bad, will eventually grow. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation, your life will reflect those negative thoughts. But if you plant seeds of hope, confidence, and patience, you'll see a very different result over time. Here's the tricky part. Most of the time, we don't even realize what we're planting. The beliefs and thoughts that live inside us are often habits we picked up long ago, from our childhood, our family, our culture, or even past experiences. Maybe when you were younger, someone told you, "You're not good at speaking." That statement might have gone straight into your subconscious, where it stayed. Even years later, when you try to speak English or give a presentation, that old belief can suddenly rise up and make you feel nervous or insecure. This shows us something very important. The subconscious is not a magical mystery. It's not some strange force outside of you. It's simply a natural part of how your mind works. It's like a powerful assistant that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But here's the key. If you don't give this assistant clear and positive instructions, it will just keep running old programs, even programs that don't help you anymore. Think about your day today. How many of your actions were automatic? The way you brushed your teeth, the route you took to work or school, the way you reacted when someone annoyed you. Most of these things weren't carefully chosen in the moment. They were guided by your subconscious mind. And that is why learning how to communicate with your subconscious, to guide it, to give it better instructions, can completely change your life. Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, is one of the most famous and widely read books about how our thoughts shape our lives. It was first published in 1963, but even today, decades later, its lessons feel just as fresh and relevant.
Why?
Because it talks about something timeless, the connection between your inner world and your outer world. The main message of the book is simple but very deep. The thoughts and beliefs you hold inside yourself, especially the ones you repeat often, create the reality you live in. The mind as a garden. Murphy often uses a very clear picture to explain this idea. He says your mind is like a garden. The conscious mind is the gardener. The subconscious mind is the soil. Whatever seeds you plant in that soil will eventually grow. The soil doesn't care what kind of seed it receives. If you plant seeds of fear, worry, or anger, those plants will grow. If you plant seeds of confidence, hope, and gratitude, those will grow instead. Your subconscious is neutral. It does not argue with you. It does not question whether something is good or bad. Just like soil accepts any seed, the subconscious accepts any thought you give it. How beliefs shape your life. For example, if you keep telling yourself, "I can never do this," your subconscious accepts that statement as truth. Then it begins to shape your feelings and actions around it. You might feel anxious, notice more obstacles than opportunities, or even avoid trying new things. But if you say, "I can learn this step by step," your subconscious also accepts that. It begins to work with you, helping you notice solutions, giving you confidence, and guiding you toward success. This is why Murphy says that changing your inner beliefs can completely change the direction of your life. Visualization and affirmations. Murphy explains that there are two especially powerful tools for guiding the subconscious: visualization and affirmations. Visualization means creating a clear picture in your mind of what you want. For example, if you want to feel confident speaking English, imagine yourself having a smooth conversation. Hear yourself speaking calmly, see the other person smiling, and feel the relief and pride afterward. The subconscious responds to these images almost as strongly as it does to real experiences. By practicing visualization, you train your mind and body to act with confidence in real life. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself until they feel natural. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at speaking English," you say, "I am improving every day. My English gets better with every conversation." At first, this may feel fake or uncomfortable, but Murphy explains that repetition is key. Just like a song that gets stuck in your head after hearing it many times, repeated positive statements eventually sink into your subconscious. Over time, they become your new beliefs. One powerful story he tells is about a man who had been unemployed for months. Instead of focusing on fear and frustration, he began using visualization and affirmations every day. He imagined himself already working at a job he loved. He pictured himself smiling, shaking hands with his new boss, and even receiving his first paycheck. Within just a few weeks, an opportunity appeared, and he was hired for a position that matched his mental vision almost exactly. Whether you call that coincidence or something more, Murphy's message is clear. What you believe, you begin to create. The lesson of faith and belief. Another key lesson from Dr. Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is the importance of faith. But here, Murphy isn't talking about religious faith. He means faith as a deep belief in possibility, the trust that change and growth are possible for you. He explains that your subconscious mind does not argue, analyze, or judge your thoughts. It simply follows your strongest beliefs. If you believe that success is possible for other people but not for you, then your subconscious will quietly work to prove that belief true. You'll start noticing reasons why you can't succeed, and you'll miss opportunities that might have helped you. But if you believe, truly believe, that you can grow, change, and succeed, even in small steps, your subconscious will also support that. It will begin to open doors you didn't notice before. Murphy uses a simple image. Your subconscious mind is like soil. It accepts any kind of seed you plant, good or bad. Your job is to plant the right seeds. Affirmations with feeling. This is where affirmations come in. Murphy suggests repeating positive statements every day.
Simple sentences like,
I am calm, confident, and focused. Success comes to me naturally. The famous lesson. One of the most quoted lines from the book is, change your thoughts, and you change your destiny. This is not just a nice saying, it's a practical truth. If you spend your days focusing on problems, you will feel stuck, powerless, and stressed. But if you train yourself to focus on solutions, even small ones, you begin to notice opportunities you couldn't see before. It's like changing the lens on a camera. Suddenly the world looks clearer, brighter, and full of possibilities. The power of your subconscious mind teaches us that our inner thoughts, repeated daily, become the seeds of our future. By planting better seeds, through visualization, affirmations, and self-belief, we can transform not just our mindset, but our entire life. Dr. Joseph Murphy reminds us that the outside world doesn't really change on its own. What changes is how we see it and how we react to it. When your inner perspective shifts, your experience of life shifts with it. But Murphy also gives an important warning. Be careful of negative autosuggestions, the quiet, automatic phrases you tell yourself without even realizing. Things like,
I'm unlucky.
This always happens to me. I'll never get better. These thoughts are like weeds in your mental garden. They grow quickly, and if you don't pull them out, they can choke the healthy, positive seeds you're trying to plant. That's why one of Murphy's main techniques is to catch those negative thoughts right away and replace them with something better. For example, if you hear yourself thinking, I always fail at this, immediately replace it with, I am learning. Every attempt makes me stronger. The core idea. The heart of Murphy's book is this. Your thoughts shape your reality. Not just passing thoughts like, I feel tired, or I forgot my keys. It's the deep, repeated messages you tell yourself every single day. The beliefs about who you are, what you can do, and what you deserve. Those beliefs sink into your subconscious, and once they're there, they quietly influence your actions, your emotions, and your results. Again, Murphy uses the garden metaphor. Your mind is the soil. Your thoughts are the seeds. If you plant fear, doubt, and negativity, you'll grow more fear, doubt, and negative experiences. But if you plant confidence, hope, and gratitude, over time your life will begin to reflect those qualities instead. It sounds simple, but Murphy insists it's deeply powerful. Change your thoughts and you change your destiny. The power of mental images. One of the most important concepts in the book is that the subconscious responds most strongly to images and emotions, not just words. So if you want to change your life in health, relationships, finances, or anything else, you have to begin with visualization. That means see it clearly in your mind. Imagine the outcome you want as if it's already happening. Feel it as real. Add emotions, confidence, joy, relief, as if you're already living it. Repeat daily. The more real it feels, the more your subconscious accepts it as truth and begins guiding your actions to match it. Stories and examples. Murphy fills the book with stories to show how this works in real life. He writes about people who visualized healing from serious illnesses, imagined finding love, and later met their life partners, created vivid mental pictures of running successful businesses, and eventually built them. This isn't about simply wishing and waiting. It's about building deep belief and aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that belief. But here's the secret. Affirmations are not just about repeating words. If you say them without emotion, they are only empty sounds. To reach the subconscious, you must say them with feeling, with imagination, and with the belief that they are possible. When you repeat a phrase while picturing it and feeling it, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. That is when change starts to happen. Change takes time. One of the best things about this book is that it doesn't promise instant miracles. Murphy is very clear that the process takes time and repetition. Think about learning English. You don't become fluent overnight. You practice. You make mistakes. You repeat. You keep going. And slowly your brain begins to change. Murphy says the same is true for your beliefs and your life. Change doesn't happen through force. It happens through gentle, steady practice, day by day, thought by thought. A moment for reflection. Let's pause here for a moment. Ask yourself, what thoughts are you planting every day when you talk to yourself, either out loud or silently? Are those thoughts building you up or tearing you down? What kind of mental images do you carry with you? Are they focused on failure, or are they focused on progress?
You don't need to have all the answers right now.
Simply becoming more aware of your inner conversation is already a powerful step. Because once you are aware, you gain the ability to choose differently. A book to return to. The power of your subconscious mind isn't the kind of book you read once and then forget. It's more like a wise, quiet friend. A book you return to again and again when you need to be reminded of what you are capable of. If you take even one idea from it, just the idea that your thoughts can shape your reality, and you apply it in your daily life, you may start to notice small but meaningful shifts. And those small shifts over time lead to bigger changes. The subconscious is always listening. Murphy shares many stories throughout the book about people who transformed their lives by changing their mental habits. He tells of individuals who overcame serious health challenges, financial struggles, and deep fears, not through luck, but by teaching their subconscious minds to focus on healing, success, and possibility instead of fear and failure. The key lesson is this: your subconscious mind is always listening. It is always responding to the messages you give it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to force yourself to be positive all the time. But the more often you choose thoughts of hope, trust, and progress, the more your subconscious will guide you forward. Instead of only seeing walls and obstacles, you'll start to notice doors and pathways that were there all along. Why we often limit ourselves. It's inspiring to talk about the power of the subconscious mind and how positive thoughts can transform our lives. But before we go further, we need to face an uncomfortable truth. Most of the time, the biggest limits in our lives are the ones we place on ourselves. And the surprising part? We often do it without even realizing it. Sometimes we've been holding ourselves back for years. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself before you even began? Maybe you had an idea, a dream, or even just a small goal, but then a quiet voice inside whispered, "What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough?" And instead of taking action, you let that thought decide for you. The voice of self-doubt. One of the most common reasons we limit ourselves is self-doubt. We question our abilities, even when we've done similar things successfully in the past. For example, maybe you want to improve your English, join a conversation group, or apply for a better job. But then that doubtful voice says, "You're not ready. You might embarrass yourself." And instead of trying, you hold back. What happens next? Your subconscious mind accepts that hesitation as truth. And soon it becomes a habit. You start automatically avoiding opportunities that could have helped you grow. The trap of perfectionism. Another powerful block is perfectionism. Many of us think, if I can't do it perfectly, I shouldn't do it at all. At first, this sounds reasonable. Who doesn't want to do things well? But beneath perfectionism often hides a deeper fear, the fear of failure. Instead of taking small steps, practicing and learning along the way, we wait for the perfect moment. The time when we'll feel completely confident, fully skilled, and totally prepared. But here's the truth. That moment almost never comes. By waiting to be perfect, we end up doing nothing. And in the process, we lose time, opportunities, and confidence. The fear of failure. Then there's the fear of failure itself. We imagine that if we fail, it means we're not capable, that it says something negative about who we are. But think about the people you admire, athletes, artists, successful professionals, or fluent language learners. Do you believe they reached that level without failing? Of course not. They failed many times. The difference is that they didn't let failure define them. They treated failure as feedback, not as proof that they should quit. Here's a question worth reflecting on. What's worse, trying and failing, or never trying at all, and always wondering what could have happened? So many people live with the second type of regret. They avoid risk because they're afraid of the pain of failure. But they forget that not trying has a cost too. It keeps us stuck. It keeps our subconscious filled with the same old, "I can't" messages. Where do these limits come from? Here's something important. Many of these limits didn't even start with us. They often came from past experiences, from what others told us, or from moments when we felt embarrassed or rejected. Maybe a teacher once laughed at your answer in class. Maybe a parent or a friend said, "You're not the type of person who can do that." Those words may have sunk deep into your subconscious. And years later, without realizing it, you may still be living by them, still letting them control your choices. The good news. But here's the part one really want you to remember. Those old limits are not permanent. The subconscious may hold on to them, but it can also be reprogrammed. Just as you once accepted negative suggestions, you can begin planting new, positive ones. You can choose to feed your mind with confidence, hope, and courage. Over time, those new seeds will grow, and the old limits will lose their power. The limits we carry are not permanent. They are just learned patterns. At some point in your life, your subconscious mind accepted them as true, maybe from a past failure, a teacher's comment, or a fear you kept repeating. But here's the good news. If your subconscious mind learned those limits once, it can also unlearn them. And even better, it can learn new, healthier beliefs. You can train your subconscious to understand that mistakes are part of growth. Small steps are more powerful than waiting for perfect conditions. Trying, even if it feels scary, is always better than doing nothing. So, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid of failing? What's one thing I've been holding back from because I told myself I'm not ready or not good enough? Chances are you are ready, at least to take the first small step. And that small step could be the beginning of something much bigger than your fear. How to reprogram your subconscious mind. Now that we've explored how the subconscious mind works and why we often hold ourselves back, let's move to something very practical. How can you actually reprogram your subconscious mind so it works for you instead of against you? The great news is this: you don't need anything complicated or mysterious. You don't need magic, rituals, or years of waiting. All you need is to give your subconscious new instructions, again and again, until they become stronger than the old ones. There are three main tools for this: daily affirmations, visualization, consistency. Let's go through them one by one. 1. Daily affirmations. Affirmations are short, positive sentences you repeat to yourself regularly. They are not just happy words to make you feel good for a moment. They are tools to feed your subconscious with new beliefs. For example, if you've always said, "I'm terrible at speaking English," your subconscious has probably accepted that as a fact. But you can start to change that story by repeating a new phrase like, "I am improving my English every day. I can communicate, and I get better with every conversation." At first, your conscious mind might argue, "That's not true yet." And that's perfectly okay. Affirmations are not about what you see right now. They're about what you want to believe. With repetition, your subconscious starts to accept them as real. And once your subconscious believes them, you naturally begin to act in ways that match them. 2. Visualization. The second tool is visualization. This means using your imagination to create clear, detailed pictures of the success you want. For example, let's say you're afraid of public speaking. Instead of always imagining failure, picture yourself standing in front of a small group and speaking calmly. Imagine your breathing is steady, your voice is strong, and your body feels relaxed. See the audience smiling and nodding as they listen. Try to use as many senses as possible. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel in your body? Your subconscious doesn't separate imagined experiences from real ones. That's why athletes, actors, and even surgeons use visualization before big events. It prepares their minds just as much as their skills. By imagining success over and over, you're training your subconscious to believe, "This is possible for me." 3. Consistency. And here's the third key: consistency. This is the step most people forget. Your subconscious mind learned its current patterns over years, sometimes decades. That means new patterns won't appear overnight. Change doesn't happen in one big dramatic moment. It happens through small, steady practice. Think of it like exercise. Doing one workout won't make you strong, but doing small workouts regularly will transform your body over time. The same is true for your mind. A few minutes of affirmations and visualization every single day is far more powerful than trying to force yourself into a big, sudden change in one weekend. A real-life example: Anna. Let's bring this to life with an example. Imagine someone named Anna. She's smart and capable, but she's terrified of public speaking. Every time her boss asks her to give a presentation, she hears a voice inside her head saying, "You're going to mess up. Everyone will laugh at you." That voice isn't the truth. It's just an old pattern. But Anna has been listening to it for years, and her subconscious has accepted it as reality. Now, Anna decides to try a new approach. Every morning, she repeats affirmations like, "I speak with calm and confidence. People enjoy listening to me." At first, these words feel strange and even a little fake, but she keeps repeating them. Next, she adds visualization. Each evening, before going to bed, she imagines herself standing in the meeting room, speaking clearly and confidently. She sees her colleagues nodding, smiling, and even clapping. She feels the relief and pride of finishing her talk successfully. And most importantly, Anna practices consistently. Not just once or twice, but every day for weeks. Slowly, her subconscious begins to shift. She starts feeling calmer when she thinks about presentations. When her boss asks her to speak, she feels nervous, but also ready. One day, she gives her first presentation where she doesn't freeze. She makes mistakes, yes, but instead of panicking, she keeps going. Afterward, her boss praises her. That small success becomes proof to her subconscious. I can do this. Over time, Anna transforms. Not because she forced herself into confidence overnight, but because she patiently trained her subconscious to believe in her instead of doubting her. Anna's story: how a belief can change everything. I once worked with a student, we'll call her Anna, who was terrified of speaking English. She had already lived in an English-speaking country for more than a year, but she avoided conversations whenever she could. One day she told me, "I freeze every time. I feel like I just disappear." When we explored this together, we discovered something important. Anna wasn't just afraid of grammar mistakes or forgetting words. She had been carrying a deep belief since she was a teenager. She believed that her voice didn't matter. She believed that if she made a mistake, people would laugh at her. No one ever said those words directly to her. But a few small experiences, like being corrected too harshly or feeling embarrassed in front of others, combined with her own doubts, and over time, that belief grew strong in her subconscious. And because she carried that belief everywhere, it shaped her actions. She stayed quiet, avoided speaking, and every time she stayed silent, the belief felt even more real. How she changed. Once Anna became aware of this hidden belief, she decided to challenge it. She didn't do anything dramatic. No big speeches, no presentations, no interviews at first. Instead, she started very small. A short conversation at the coffee shop. A quick question to a coworker. A short phone call to practice. Little by little, she began to act against the old belief. After a few months, she came back to me and said, "I don't feel invisible anymore. I still make mistakes, but I'm not hiding." That shift didn't begin with a grammar rule or vocabulary list. It began with her belief. And once that changed, everything else started to change too. Why beliefs matter. This lesson goes far beyond English. Think about other parts of your life. Your work, your health, your relationships. What do you believe about yourself in those areas? Are those beliefs helping you grow, or are they secretly holding you back? I'm not saying that positive thinking alone will solve all of life's problems. Life is complex and real challenges exist. But here's the truth. Your beliefs are the lens through which you experience everything. If the lens is dirty, cracked, or broken, then no matter how beautiful the outside world is, the picture will always look unclear. A small reflection exercise. Let's pause together for a moment. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Now, ask yourself, what's one belief I've carried for years that might not be true anymore? Maybe it's, I'm not creative. Maybe it's, I'll never be confident. Maybe it's, people won't take me seriously if I make mistakes. Where did that belief come from? Did you choose it? Or did it just grow quietly over time from past experiences or other people's words? The truth is, we all carry old stories inside us. Some we wrote ourselves. Some were written for us by others. But here's the beautiful thing. Stories can be rewritten. The moment you start questioning your beliefs, looking at them clearly and kindly, is the moment you take back your power. What Dr. Murphy reminds us: In The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy reminds us of something simple but profound. Your subconscious accepts whatever you believe most deeply. If you feed it fear, it produces more fear. If you feed it doubt, it produces hesitation. But if you feed it faith, hope, and courage, it produces strength and new possibilities. This doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching your challenges with a different mindset, with curiosity, with hope, with the belief that change is possible and that you are not stuck. The takeaway. So, as we close this part, I invite you to reflect, not to fix everything today, but simply to notice. What do I believe about myself? And is that belief helping me grow or holding me back? If it's holding you back, maybe it's time to start changing it. Slowly, gently, and with love. Because the truth is this: your reality is shaped far more by what's happening inside you than by what's happening outside of you. And when your beliefs begin to change, your life begins to change too. Real-life examples and stories. We've already talked about affirmations, visualization, and consistency. But let's make those ideas real by looking at how people, both famous and ordinary, have actually used the power of their subconscious mind. Sometimes hearing a story makes these techniques feel less like theory and more like something you can try for yourself. Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. One of the most famous examples comes from the world of sports. Have you ever heard of Muhammad Ali, the legendary boxer? He wasn't only strong physically, he was also incredibly strong mentally. Before he became a champion, Ali kept repeating a single phrase to himself and to everyone around him: I am the greatest. At first, it might have sounded arrogant or unrealistic. But for him, it wasn't about showing off. It was about training his subconscious mind. By repeating those words again and again, he began to believe them deeply. That belief gave him the confidence to train harder, to push through pain, and to step into the ring already feeling like a winner. His words shaped his mind. His mind shaped his actions. And his actions shaped his success. Jim Carrey, the $10 million check. Another powerful example comes from the actor and comedian Jim Carrey. Long before he was famous, he was struggling financially. But instead of giving up, he used visualization. He would drive up to the Hollywood Hills, park his car, and imagine himself acting in successful movies. He didn't just daydream. He made the picture clear and real in his mind. He even wrote himself a fake check for $10 million, dated it for a future year, and kept it in his wallet. It was his way of telling his subconscious, "This is where I'm going." At the time, it seemed impossible. He had no money. No one knew his name. But he kept visualizing, kept working, and kept believing. Years later, he actually received a movie contract worth $10 million, almost exactly like the check he had imagined years earlier. This might sound magical, but it's not. It's the power of focus and belief. His subconscious mind responded to the vision he gave it. Ordinary examples. Everyday wins. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I'm not a famous athlete or actor. Does this really work for me? The answer is yes. You don't have to be in the spotlight to use these techniques. Let's bring it closer to everyday life. Think about these situations. Learning a language. Maybe you once thought, "I'll never understand English grammar." But then you kept practicing, you believed you could improve, and little by little, the grammar started to make sense. Speaking in English. Maybe you were nervous about starting a conversation, but you told yourself, "It's okay if I make mistakes. I can still communicate." And surprisingly, the conversation went better than you expected. work or school. Maybe you used to think, I'm not good at presenting. But after preparing and telling yourself, I'm improving each time, you gave a presentation that was far better than the last one. In each of these moments, something simple but powerful happened. Your subconscious mind began to shift. When you changed your belief, even a little bit, you acted differently. And when you acted differently, you got a different result. Why small victories matter. This is why noticing small victories in your life is so important. They're not just lucky moments. They're proof that your subconscious mind is listening to the messages you give it. Each positive belief is like planting a seed. At first, it looks invisible. You might wonder if it's even working. But with time, consistency, and care, that seed grows into something much bigger. Confidence, courage, and real success. And just like a garden, the more positive seeds you plant, the richer your life becomes. Practical daily practices to reprogram your subconscious. Now that we've talked about how powerful your subconscious mind is, it's time to get practical. It's one thing to understand the idea, but it's another to turn it into daily habits that actually change your life. The good news is, influencing your subconscious doesn't have to take hours each day. Some of the most effective practices are short, simple, and easy to fit into your routine. 1. Nighttime practice. Plant positive seeds before sleep. One of the best times to work with your subconscious is right before you go to bed. At night, your conscious mind becomes quieter, and your subconscious is more open to suggestions. Instead of letting your last thoughts of the day be worries or regrets, try this. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Say something encouraging to yourself, like, I am learning and improving every day. Tomorrow I will wake up calm and ready. These simple thoughts are like instructions you're giving your subconscious. Even small positive messages repeated nightly can slowly reshape the way your mind responds during the day. 2. Morning visualization. Start your day with intention. The morning is another powerful moment. Before you rush into your phone, emails, or tasks, take just 30 seconds to imagine your day going well. Picture yourself moving through the day with confidence.
Handling konversasjonskalmly.
Completing tasks with focus and ease. Meeting challenges with calm and control. Feel that sense of calm and success as if it is already happening. This small practice sets the tone for the entire day and tells your subconscious the kind of energy and focus you want to carry with you. 3. Speak your affirmations out loud. Another simple but powerful technique is to say affirmations aloud. Not just in your head, use your voice. For example, stand in front of a mirror and say, I am confident. I communicate clearly. I can handle new situations. Speaking your affirmations out loud makes the words stronger. For English learners, it's an added bonus. It helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency. You are training both your mind and your speaking skills at the same time. 4. Consistency is key. These practices might feel small, even too easy to make a real difference. But remember, your subconscious learns through repetition. One encouraging thought at night won't change your life. But doing it every night for a week, then a month, then 3 months, will slowly replace old negative patterns with new, supportive ones. Think of it like watering a plant. A single drop doesn't do much, but a little water every day makes the plant grow strong. Your mind works the same way. Those short, daily moments guiding your thoughts will gradually build a more confident, focused, and capable version of you. 5. Try it right now. Here's a quick exercise you can do immediately. Say out loud, I am improving. I am capable. I am becoming more confident every day. Notice how it feels. At first, it might feel a little strange or unfamiliar. That's okay. Keep practicing. Over time, those words stop feeling unusual and start feeling true. Slowly, they become part of your subconscious programming, and your actions, confidence, and results begin to shift naturally. By doing these small, simple daily practices, you are planting positive seeds in your subconscious mind. Over time, those seeds grow into real changes, a new habit, a new level of confidence, or even a completely new life direction. And remember, the journey doesn't have to be dramatic or perfect. It's the gentle, consistent steps that lead to lasting transformation. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. The subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but many people don't get the results they hope for. And it's not because the techniques, like affirmations or visualization, don't work. The problem is usually common mistakes that quietly hold them back. Understanding these mistakes and learning how to avoid them can save you time, frustration, and help you make real, lasting changes. 1. Quitting too soon. The first mistake is expecting fast results and giving up too early. When people start practicing affirmations or visualization, they sometimes think, if I repeat this for 3 days, my life should already be different. But your subconscious doesn't work that way. Think about it. Your current thoughts and habits have developed over years, sometimes decades. Changing them takes time. Imagine planting a seed today and checking tomorrow to see if a tree has grown. Of course it hasn't. Not because the seed is weak, but because it needs time, water, and care. Your mental seeds work the same way. If you stop practicing after just a few days or even a few weeks because you don't see immediate change, you're giving up just before the real results begin to appear. Solution: be patient and consistent. Treat your daily practice like watering a garden. Over time, you will see growth. 2. Doing affirmations without action. The second mistake is thinking that affirmations alone are enough. Affirmations and visualization are powerful, but they are not magic spells. Saying, I am confident, 100 times a day will not make you suddenly a confident speaker if you never practice in real life. Your subconscious can support you, yes, but it needs you to take action in the real world. Actions create experiences that reinforce your new beliefs. For example, if your goal is to speak better English, saying, I am improving my English every day is helpful. But you also need to practice speaking, listening, and using the language. Think of affirmations as opening the door, and your actions as stepping through that door to make real change happen. 3. Continuing negative habits unconsciously. The third mistake is keeping old negative habits, even while trying to think positively. For instance, someone might spend 5 minutes in the morning repeating positive affirmations, but then spend the rest of the day complaining, criticizing themselves, focusing on everything that could go wrong. This sends mixed messages to the subconscious. It's like trying to drive a car with 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake. You won't get very far. Solution: become more aware of your everyday thoughts. Each time you notice a negative thought like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, pause and replace it with something more supportive like, I'll find a way to do this. I'm learning and improving. It might feel repetitive at first, but each small correction weakens the old pattern and strengthens the new one. 4. The power of consistency over perfection. Avoiding mistakes doesn't mean you need to be perfect. You don't need to control every thought or be positive all the time. That would be impossible and exhausting. Instead, Focus on 3 things. Consistency, practice daily, even in small ways. Patience, give your subconscious time to adapt. Awareness, notice when old habits appear and gently redirect them. Over time, your subconscious will respond to the new messages. You'll start to notice changes not just in how you think, but also in how you act and in the results you get. We've covered a lot in today's episode, so let's take a moment to wrap everything up and see the big picture. We started by exploring what the subconscious mind really is. It's a powerful part of you that works quietly in the background. Even when you aren't aware of it, it shapes your habits, your reactions, and even the opportunities you notice in life. We also looked at Dr. Joseph Murphy's key ideas. Your mind is like a garden. The thoughts you plant are like seeds. Over time, those seeds grow into the reality you experience. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, or negativity, those things grow. But if you plant seeds of confidence, hope, and positivity, you can create a much different life. We explored simple ways to guide your subconscious mind, like visualization, picturing yourself succeeding in clear detail, affirmations, repeating positive statements to yourself regularly, consistent practice, taking small, steady actions rather than expecting instant results. We also talked about why we often limit ourselves. Self-doubt, perfectionism, and the fear of failure quietly hold us back. They shape the way we act, and over time they become habits that are hard to break. But the good news is that these patterns aren't permanent. They are learned, and they can be changed. We shared real-life examples of people who reprogrammed their beliefs and created success. Muhammad Ali, Jim Carrey, and everyday learners like Anna all show that repeated positive thoughts, visualization, and small actions can slowly transform your confidence and results. We even practice small daily routines that you can start right away. Saying one encouraging thought before bed. Imagining a positive day when you wake up. These small, simple habits begin to shift your subconscious over time. A question to reflect on. As we finish today, I want you to ask yourself, what belief about myself do I need to change today? Maybe it's a thought like, I'm not good enough. I'll never speak English fluently. It's too late to start something new. Be honest with yourself. Ask, is this belief helping me, or is it holding me back? If it's holding you back, what could you say to yourself instead? Start small. Choose one positive statement. Repeat it each day, and imagine yourself already living as if that belief were true. Give your subconscious time to learn this new message, just as it learned the old one. Your challenge. Try these practices over the next week. Notice what happens when you change even a few daily thoughts. And if you feel comfortable, share your experience with us. Leave a comment or send a message. Your story could inspire someone else who is struggling with the same challenge. Improving your English is important, but growing your mindset is just as powerful. Together, they can open doors you may not even see yet. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep planting those positive seeds in your mind. I hope to see you in the next episode, where we'll continue exploring ideas that help you not just learn English, but also build a stronger, more confident version of yourself. Until then, take care. Speak kindly to yourself, and never forget, you are capable of much more than you think.